Before becoming queen, Princess Elizabeth harbored the desire to lead a more normal existence and to see her children live ordinary lives, a book has claimed. Historian and royal commentator Dr. Tessa Dunlop reported in her newly released book a dialogue between Princess Elizabeth and Eileen Parker, the wife of Mike Parker, the equerry and close friend of Prince Philip at the time. This exchange reportedly took place after the birth of Elizabeth's first child, Charles, who was 74 today. In her book Elizabeth and Philip, A Story of Young Love, Marriage and Monarchy, Dr. Dunlop wrote, apparently the princess insisted, I am going to mother my baby, not the nurse, and plaintively told Mike Parker's Scottish housewife that she would like her children to be able to live ordinary lives, adding I wish I could be more like you, Eileen. Normal is apparently what the princess coveted, and normal is how the press briefly tried to depict her. However, in her memoir Step Aside for Royalty, Treasured Memories of the Royal Household, Mrs. Parker wrote, as reported by the historian, I pondered, how much of a price would a princess truly be willing to pay in order to bring her children up like ordinary people? Elizabeth, who with Prince Philip shared 4 children, did not have the time to be a hands-on mother to the now King Charles and Princess Anne. Given in the early 1950s she had to step in on multiple occasions for her increasingly ill father until she eventually took on his role as queen following his death in February 1952. Princess Elizabeth told Prince Philip's equerry's wife she wished for a life more like hers. Image, Getty. The Queen gave birth to King Charles and Princess Anne before acceding to the throne. Image, Getty. The monarch, who died in September after celebrating with the country her historic 70-year-long reign, dedicated her life to service and performed her duties as sovereign despite her ill health until the very end of her life. Princess Elizabeth's reported desire for normality would be shared years later by her grandson Prince Harry. The Duke of Sussex often spoke of his decade in the army as the happiest times of my life, during which much of the attention was on his role within his squad rather than his royal title or fame as a member of the firm. The royal publicly discussed his longing for a normal life as recently as last year, when he appeared in the Apple TV Plus series he co-created with Oprah Winfrey, titled The Me You Can't See. Read more. Meghan and Harry. Human rights honor labeled sublimely ridiculous. Prince Harry served in the army for 10 years. Image, Getty. Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip shared 4 children. Image, Getty. He said, I always wanted to be normal. As opposed to being Prince Harry, just being Harry. It was a puzzling life. Relishing how he got to be just one of the many soldiers in the armed forces during his time of service, he added, I got to wear the same uniform as everybody else. I had to do all the same training as everybody else. I started from the bottom like everybody else. There was no special treatment because of who I was. Recalling his 2 tours in Afghanistan, he added, that was where I felt my most normal, and actually within my younger years, the most comfortable I felt was out in Afghanistan, away from the media. Don't miss Prince William and Kate upset with Mike Tyndall's I am a celeb stint, expert. Mike Tyndall's budgie smugglers sparked frenzy with I am a celeb fans. Pics. Queen made special request to ban cameras during Anne's wedding. Insight. Princess Elizabeth acceded to the throne in February 1952. Image, Getty. After leaving the army in 2015, the Duke started working full-time in support of the Crown, the Queen and his patronages. Much of his work was focused on helping veterans and members of the Army community, with the Invictus Games, a tournament for ill, sick or wounded serving personnel and veterans, remaining to this day one of his most successful initiatives. The Duke said to be still determined to live a relatively normal life in 2017, during an interview with Angela Levin. He told the author, people would be amazed by the ordinary life William and First lived. Princess Elizabeth and Prince Philip during their honeymoon in 1947. Image, Getty. Trending. I do my own shopping. Sometimes, when I come away from the meat counter in my local supermarket, I worry someone will snap me with their phone. But I am determined to have a relatively normal life, and if I am lucky enough to have children, they can have one too. Even if I was king, I'd do my own shopping. The Duke has granted his son Archie and daughter Lilibet a childhood more shielded from the public eye than his own by stepping down as a full-time working member of the royal family in the spring of 2020 and relocating to California with his wife, Meghan Markle. Elizabeth Philip, A Story of Young Love, Marriage and Monarchy by Dr. Tessa Dunlop, headline, £20, is available now.